Hello YouTube. Today I just want to share a story with you about my stem cell transplant and others that are maybe going to be getting a stem cell transplant in the near future. I kind of want to let you guys know what to expect because I went into it thankfully knowing somebody else that went through it, so I kind of wasn't shocked or like scared as much as I would have been if I wouldn't have known what to expect. So what I got the opportunity to have is an autologous transplant. And I'm going to read from this book because it's hard. It's a lot of medical terms and it's crazy. So this is when I was able to use my own blood-forming cells. The cells are collected from your bloodstream, and it's a process called apheresis. So that's when I was in this chair. It's kind of like dialysis for individuals with diabetes. It's like this big chair, and it takes your blood and it recycles it, and it's weird. It's the craziest looking machine. You can Google it and you can see. Then the blood is safely stored until they're being used, and it's stored in this like freezer thing. So before I start the transplant, I got a very high dose of chemotherapy. It's a lethal dose of chemotherapy that should be able to destroy any trace of cancer that may still exist. You do have to be in remission to qualify for a stem cell transplant, and that's why they tried to speed it up and not wait longer than a month for you to get back into the hospital and do the stem cell transplant. So I was admitted August 22nd, a day after my birthday. And you go and they take you up to the unit where only stem cell patients are. Nobody else could be around. Masks have to be worn because you do not have an immune system. You completely are like a newborn baby. So I get my chemo for 3 days, which is crazy. You get chemo at 11, I believe 2 p.m. and 11 p.m. at night. And these are, bags this big. You're usually getting chemo bags about this big, so it is really high doses of chemo. During this time you are in bed. They encourage you to walk, but it's kind of impossible, especially kind of how I was feeling. I was really weak, very underweight still, and I was just fed up because I had just been through all this other chemo and the cancer battle and everything. So you're in the stem cell unit, and then after the 3 days of your chemo, it's your day 0. It's the day that you get your stem cells put back into your body. So they wheel in all your packets of blood cells that they got from the machine, and they pretty much sit by your bedside and push your blood back through your body. It takes about an hour because there was about 15 to 20 bags that they had to put back in me. And pretty much after then, it starts at day 0, and you pretty much just have to see what it does. But you're there in the hospital for a month after trying to recover. And during this time, you are weak. You lose your the ability to pretty much do everything, to walk. My muscle memory was gone. My doctor said there was Marines that would go in there like with all this muscle thinking they weren't going to lose it. And at the end of it, it was all gone. And I had to walk with like my machine. I couldn't really do much. I had my family there. My mom, my dad, and my husband were with me, and every step of the way. So that was good. There's also a time when they give you this chemo, and you have to be, it's the one that's going to give you the mouth sores, they say. And I'm like, it's the scariest thing because you're like, mouth sores, I don't want to have to deal with it. I don't want another thing to deal with. Mind you, you're having all these GI issues. It's annoying. So I had to eat ice for like hours, and I was like, I don't even want to eat. So eating ice and lollipops. I mean, not lollipops, but popsicles. It was just so hard for me. But I had to do it, and I ended up not getting the mouth sores, so it was worth it. Also, the stem cell transplant that I got to use my own blood cells. There's another stem cell transplant that you get where you have to have a donor. So let's say that this one particularly didn't work and my cancer does come back. I pray to God it does not. I would then see if I would be able to get a donor and see if that would work. I don't know if I would even take that, but I probably would do anything for my family. I mean, if it's gonna keep me alive, then I'll do it. I'll do it as painful as it is. But so a stem cell transplant, it takes a while after to recover. I'm 4 months out of a stem cell transplant. There's people that after a month are able to walk and eat and back to their normal lives, and me, I'm still trying to gain 10 pounds, let alone be able to walk a mile, so after you get released from your stem cell transplant, you have to stay within 100 yards of the UNC facility in case anything happens, and you have to have a 24-hour caretaker in case anything happens, because I wasn't able to do anything anyway. I needed to eat, so people have to prepare food for you, which is another thing that is really crazy because you can't eat a lot of stuff. You can't, like if I were to go to a restaurant, I can't have their ice. I can't have their vegetables because their ice machine may have bacteria or they might have not washed their vegetables correctly. So you also have to watch out for not getting infections by food. So after my stem cell transplant, I got moved to a place called the CQ house where people that have transplants go, and I pretty much was up in a apartment for another 3 to 4 weeks until I got the okay to go home. I just felt so annoying just being away from my husband and being at the CQ house, and I just wanted to be at home so bad. So after that, I came home and started recovery, and I had physical therapy, and here I am today after 4 months of the stem cell transplant. I'm very grateful for the opportunity. My 3-month PET scan went great. There was no active signs of cancer. My 6-month PET scan will be February 28th, and of course I'll share with you whatever happens with that. I'm just pray to God that everything's clear and will stay clear. So yeah, anyone that's getting a stem cell transplant, don't be too scared. Be a little scared, but you can get through it. The hardest part is, just being in the hospital for a month. That's the hardest part, when it was for me. Oh, I almost lost my mind. But yeah, I'm running out of time now, so if anyone is preparing for a stem cell transplant or wants more information, feel free to ask a question. Other than that, you can Google what it looks like to have a stem cell transplant. It's really interesting. The machine is, and yeah, and you're not allowed to tape the process when you're getting a stem cell transplant, or I would have, but they were like, not happening. So yeah, thank you for listening to this story. I appreciate it. Hit the like button and hit the notification bell and subscribe to my channel. Thank you. Bye.